Habari Gani. Habari Gani yo. Ujaama. Ujaama. Welcome to the fourth day of Kwanzaa. Today's principle is cooperative economics, where we build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. Welcome back to my channel. Peace and blessings, everyone. Today's principle, Ujaama, is represented by the Mashuma Saba. Mashuma Saba, the 7 candles, 1 black, 3 red, and 3 green. And at the beginning of this journey, for the first day, I hope you lit your black candle. And then on the second day, you lit your red candle. And yesterday, you lit your green, and today you would light another red, alternating back and forth until we get to the end of Kwanzaa, and then all the candles will be lit, right? So we know that candles are ceremonial objects with 2 primary purposes: to recreate symbolically the sun's power and to provide light. And we know that the celebration of fire through candle burning is not limited to one particular group or country. It occurs everywhere. Yes? So, today's principle speaks about us working together as a community to support one another. So what I want to do is show you a few decks in my collection that come from some prolific creators. Many you have heard of, but there are a few that I think fly beneath the radar and could use a little bit of notice, at least from my perspective. I just wanted to share, put this information out there, let you know that this is available to you. So there's no question that I'm in love with Andrea Furtick's work, the Afro Goddess decks. No question whatsoever. You know that I love her artwork. You've seen this. Let me see. Right? And we're all familiar with Dust to Onyx. First edition. I was gifted the second edition. And I recently got the travel size. And rather quickly, for those of you who may be wondering about the size comparison, this is the regular size. I'll turn that over so you see like that. And this is the travel size in comparison. Okay? And let's see, in comparison to a tarot card, let me grab one of these. This is the Lo Scarabeo card. That's what it looks like. So just a little bit bigger actually than a tinned deck. Okay. If I don't put stuff away, I end up with things all over the place. So, everyone is familiar. Well, most of you are familiar with the Dust to Onyx deck. Yes? Created by Courtney Alexander. Beautifully collaged and painted. Yes, it is quite pricey now, because it's worth it. These are collector's items. These are treasures to be passed down to our children and our children's children, to be donated to schools, libraries, field places where we can do study and such. Okay? But today I'm going to show you a couple of decks that I think could use a little bit more exposure. So the first one I want to share with you is this one, the Melanated Classic. It's being used quite a lot over the interwebs, and I'm happy to know that. It was reimagined by Julia Goolsbee and Oubia Tronshow. And what Julia says here is that, she has a lot of where she got her inspiration. She says that when she was a little girl, her grandmother gave her a birthday card every year. She said she was born in 1980, but she didn't remember seeing melanated greeting cards until the 90s, and I can attest to that. My grandma would just buy the cards with the little white girls and use a brown crayon to color their faces and hands. She wanted me to see myself represented in my world, even if she had to put me there herself. Then she says that she goes in and she talks about the artist, Julia Goolsbee, who reimagined, did the artwork of this deck. And so she says, we are thrilled to present the reimagination of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. To reflect the images of people Coleman Smith surely would have included in her rendition of classic magical archetypes. Meticulous attention was paid to detail so that the specific scenes and symbols remain. However, melanin is a vital and delightful addition. Representation matters. Visual reparations matter. As new generations of colorful folks turn towards tarot cards for guidance, spirituality, and entrepreneurship, it is imperative we use tools that reflect and replenish our self-esteem, power, and potential. This Melanated Classic is for everyone, but it's finally about us. You dig? So, let's take a look at just a few of the cards. One of my favorites, the Queen of Pentacles. This is something that Julia has done by herself. The printing, the artwork, those of you who are sticklers for cardstock, it's not the greatest cardstock. It's not the worst. I haven't had any issues with chipping. Some people have complained about uneven borders, etc., etc., because, as human beings, we must find something to complain about. Why not? I love the deck. I am awaiting delivery of a few more, actually. So, I want to give you an idea of what her writing is like. Let's talk about the Five of Wands, shall we? In the little white book, she has reimagined this deck with the astrological energies that apply to each card as well. So for those of you who are studying astrology, just having this little white book, it's full of so much information, can give you some assistance. She says, pick up the World Saturn and put it down or put it above the Strength card, which is Leo. This is the energy of the Five of Wands. Place the Five of Wands next to these two cards. Now the karmic lessons, Saturn, we experience through relationships in the world have come to test our strength, our ego, our will. When we commit to remaining in situations that make us miserable, but protect us from having to challenge our fears, our spirit will absolutely be tested. Remember, the Strength card is about holding back. Will we continue to quietly acquiesce because we don't want to rock the boat? Or will we finally express what we feel divinely guided to do and F the consequences? Yes, the writing is like that. You are how each person in this card, you see how each person in this card is getting in on the action? Everybody gonna learn today if the Four of Wands, represented by the Empress spiritual impulses, remain stable enough to keep them from losing the Empress, the Fifth Wand, which is the baby and plus the people, throws the stability off balance and everything comes crashing down. So, of course, karmic tests are always blessings in disguise. Nothing reveals who you are and who you aren't faster than confronting the shit you refuse to put up with. Well then, you know, nothing like being told off by a pack of cards, right? Okay, so on to the next deck. So this next deck was created by a young lady. She was on Kickstarter for a little bit, and we were hoping to have this deck funded, and it was not. Unfortunately, it was not funded. And it's one of the decks that I feel that could be something that many of us who are searching for self-love and inner development and healing can turn to. And it is the Dream Awake Tarot. Now, it's not a tarot deck because it's only 36 cards, but it's still filled with the archetypes. And the young lady's name, she goes by Ashanti Gumbo. And what she has done, she also has created a playbook for you to work with on your path towards healing. I haven't seen anything like this, the playbook, since my Heal Yourself, Sacred Woman. I wish I can get that down there. I cannot. Okay. Well, there. This is 33 days of self-love, and it has exercises and things for you to do dedicate yourself to 33 days. I mean, that's the least we can do for ourselves, yeah? To bring some healing, peace of mind, reconstitute our vibes. Okay, so let me show you the cards now. They are this fantastic shape. Look at that. That's the back of the cards. And the 36 cards, I mean, look how gorgeous that is. And they fit together, I would say, almost in a honeycomb pattern. So she has cards here that some may be like the tarot archetypes. That could be the Emperor. That could be the Empress. That could be Strength. This could be the Fool. You could decide what you want it to be. This could be another Moon card. Let's see, will that pick up? Yes. Let's see. This could be the Sun. What I love about this deck is the communal aspect, the honeycomb aspect, how it's all interconnected, all works together. And I suppose you could work with it directionally as well. So that is the Dream Awake Tarot. Again, not a tarot deck, 36 cards by Ashanti Gumbo. And hopefully I'm going to put all links and everything below. Now, one more. This young lady, I say a young lady, I'm much older than many of you who are watching me right now, so I know this. She is a prolific creator. She has an online academy. She does these fantastic playbooks. She has these courses for past life, serious relationship readings, And she creates some fantastic oracle decks. I mean, they just blow my mind. Okay. Um, Without further ado, her name is Kristen of Over the Moon Academy. And almost any subject that you are interested in, she has created a deck right down to geomancy. Now, geomancy isn't usually done with cards, but I like the idea, I like the concept for study. Okay. This was a limited edition deck that she had, which is called the Self-Love Black Empowerment Deck. I mean, it's psychedelic, it's funky, it's just something that I love. It's one of those decks that I love to use, and I use it for all my clients. And, you know, because they're archetypes, doesn't matter who my client is, they get the message. As a matter of fact, one of my clients has requested that I use this deck. For some odd reason, she just has an affinity for this. She has a great love for this deck. The other deck that Kristen has done, before I get to, let's see. This one is called Oracle of the Ancients. And this is a 50 card deck with vintage photos and taken and placed in a celestial background. You would use it intuitively, of course. Oracle of the Ancients. The ancient one. Another deck of hers that I have is, this one. And it's called the Lover's Oracle. And it is a deck, 54 Sibylla inspired cards with a theme of love and relationships. And if you go to her website, she also gives you instructions for using the cards. And she tells you, where she got the images from and how they may have been enhanced and all of that. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these cards. Now, these cards you will purchase from either, I believe it's Printer Studio or Make Playing Cards. I'll put a link below. Try to remember anyway to do that. But you can use it as oracle cards. Yeah. Okay. That away. One of my favorites of her decks is this one. And it's called the Ancestor deck. And it's vintage portraits with cultured why can't I not speak? It's raining. Cultured proverbs on them, cultural proverbs or cultural sayings. you know, things that we say. You know, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. Um, Things like that. I don't know why that came to my mind, but yeah. All right. Anyway, here we are. You know who that is. So I've given you a taste of 3 different artists for you to visit, go check out, see what they may have something to offer you, may, you know, pique your curiosity in regards to learning something new. See what other people are doing. I get this. Here we go. Where did I put it? This one. So, Julia Goolsby and Oubia Tronshow, Kristen from Over the Moon Academy, Ashanti Gumbo. She has an online gathering place right now, something that's taking, she's doing the 33 days, self-love, self-healing, self-work. Just something for us to be aware of, that there is so much more information, so much happening out there that many of us are not aware of. You know, we're always on this constant search, and it's just a matter of someone who has a curiosity to excavate it. And, you know, for the most part, a lot of the stuff is right in our face. We're just so used to seeing things from a particular concept that we may not even be aware of these beauties that are here for us. So, in the spirit of cooperative economics, let's pull an angel guidance card and see what it is that we may need to, let's see what energy we can tap into to help us become more supportive of each other and our creative talents and abilities, how we can get the word out there, how we can share, how we can become more mindful of our spending, where we spend it. I know that this year many people did a depth year, no buy year, all of that. I'm not sure if that's something that I would want to do. My depth year, I'm going to do a video on that, was a little bit different. Actually, it's quite a bit different than most. I did not give up spending. I believe in 2020, though, I've spoken on this, a bit more discerning of how I spend and where I spend my money, because after all, they say money talks, so I'm going to allow my money, my dollars, my nickels, my credit cards to use their voice to help make decisions for the good of all, you know? So every little bit matters, yeah? So let's see. What card do we have to guide us along this path of cooperative economics, where we can all work together and support one another, where we can all profit, we all gain, you know? Let's see what we have here. Not this one. Oh boy. The Mother Wit, and midwife. And they both have the same colors. Mother Wit. Let's read the midwife first. You are a witness to creation. Okay, so right off the top, when I spoke about this deck not being funded, we all become part of the process, not necessarily the creative process, but the process of bringing these things to life and bringing them to the public. You are always present at the birthing of something created. Your welcoming energy as a midwife makes the rough arrival of ideas, projects, and life itself more bearable. You have the wisdom, courage, and caring nature needed during birthing times, and your loving attention is important in easing fear. Your close relationship with fear also makes you close to life and death, because they can be the things we fear most. You help us through our fear of moving forward with life. As midwife, you are the passage for bringing someone or something from one world to the next, or bringing life or projects from seed to creation or manifestation. As midwife, you are called on to help bring forth our creations, being part of our rites of passage, initiations, transitions from birth to life, and sometimes life to death. You are invited to join. You are well connected to what you help birth, and this connection can last for generations, assisting with the preservation of lineage, community, projects, organizations, and kinship. So, support those projects, support those artists. Remember what I said, everyone has a say-so, Sometimes you have to walk off the beaten path, though. There are a plethora of artists out there doing so much. Find those artists whose messages resonate with you and support them. Now, as the Mother Wit, we have, you express untold truths. The Mother Wit represents truth. You have a consciousness that is expressed in few words, but words that are clear, exact, truthful, and powerful. Your wit seems to come from nowhere, when in fact it is of an ancestral nature. Do you find yourself stumbling into a mess with your quick words? Wit is an old indigenous voice of power that is sharp, clear, perceptive of life. This quick, sharp way of speaking can be seen as an indignation or anger. As a result, many of us have been taught not to use the ancient skill of wit, and therefore it has been rooted out of our way of being. This censoring of such an innate ability can be damaging to the expression of spirit. Still, today speaking in such a manner is misunderstood, causing mother wits to be punished or ostracized at times. At the same time, people wish they could say things as clear and spirited as you say them, not realizing that you were born with this ability. You have rare perception and profound innate intelligence. You are on it or to the point. When you are in your waking path, you do not fear saying the wrong things. Interesting. Did I just get another message? Let's see. How about I pull a card from the Oracle of our ancestors here, the Ancestral deck, for our last and final message. Let's see what they have to say. Talk about witticisms. Soft words wins hard hearts. We just talked about speaking and using our our throat chakra. And I'm going to take that as a personal message. You know. Anyway, with that, I am done. Habari Gani. Ujaama. Ujaama.